That should be good. Cool. So what have you been up to?
Dude, I don't know. I guess this is season 2, episode 1.
Season 2, episode
of the
1.
On Rail podcast.
Giving it a good go.
Yeah, we're just going to have to make it happen, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like we were a little bit behind. It's been probably like a month since we've had...
Yeah, almost 2, I'd say. Almost 2 months since we shot our last one. But, I mean, we were super busy with Swell around that time. We were pretty on it because there wasn't that much waves. But now there's waves, so it's priorities.
Hell yeah. Yeah, shoot, what do we want to get into? I feel like in the last 2 months, there's been so many different kind of stories to get into.
Absolutely.
But
I would say at least let's start with where we had changed the YouTube from it being my name to End Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
So that'd be kind of a cool one. So maybe we can discuss on that.
End Bowl.
End Bowl. I mean, everyone's looking for the End Bowl. Everyone's trying to make the exit and hit the big ramp out the bowl. So
yeah, I'd be curious what people think, like, if that sounds kind of stupid or if they're into it. I mean, Personally, I think it relates to both surfing and bodyboarding.
Yeah.
And then we're just trying to make content.
Absolutely.
I mean, Sorry, dude, I just can't think right now. We're going to have to restart from here.
It's all good. So, we're starting off with the End Bowl Productions. It was kind of my idea of the name. Where it came from was I saw in Harry Bryant's, all of his videos, I always love seeing the surfing content because, I mean, they have the money. They can get really creative when they have the funds and stuff behind it. And I saw on one of his boards, I'll try to find the photo, but he sprayed End Bowl on the bottom of his board. I'm like, I like that.
Where was he surfing with that?
I don't remember exactly. It was in one of his video parts. It was either like his octopus part or in Motel Hell. There's like one clip where he's just like showing the bottom of his board. And it's like a quick little like Super 8 clip that he had, and it just said End Bowl. Like he has like 20 boards he goes through a year, and they just have whatever spray painted on the bottom. Like,
yeah.
I remember in the contest for the Stab High, there was that kid Huey. He wrote Aussie Right is like something, like they always just have something written on the bottom of their boards. So I'm like, that's like just something random. You probably didn't even think much about that, but I took that and I'm like, I like that because I've heard that in a lot of videos. And same with On Rail. That's kind of where I got the idea. Everyone's talking about being on rail and then talking about the End Bowl. So just kind of made sense to me to bring that name to it, and it worked in some way. So I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I like those board sticks. Have you seen those? They're like like a marker. That's
the marker,
like a Posco marker. Yeah. Basically, I'd love to decorate my board, but I just don't know how to draw, so I'm gonna have to get a girlfriend, I guess.
I've been trying to dabble with the freehand. I've always been pretty bad at it, but I think it's pretty fun. Like once you kind of like get an idea and you actually do it kind of right, it like motivates you a bit more. But giving the time to just do it is tough, man. Life, you're always just having revolving. We got work, got surfing, and everything else in life. It's hard to just like buckle down for a couple hours and be like, all right, I'm gonna draw. Like just setting your mind to like, I'm gonna do this. You gotta just do it when it feels right.
Yeah,
and
totally.
Kind of same with editing as well. Like I've been kind of behind on a couple clips for the End Bowl, but it's tough just wrapping around that time to make those shorts, make the full edits, and doing all that. It's just a lot of time consuming, but you just gotta make the time for it, and that's what we're doing here.
Yeah, I guess I'm curious, like, what is your process per se with working 5 days a week, at a high-end restaurant and the stress in that environment, and then coming home at midnight because you get off from the steakhouse,
Yeah.
Like, what is your process with editing, and how's your schedule working out like that?
So let's say if I start off with some footage and I'm like, all right, let's see what I can do with this. Usually one session, it's pretty rare for me to like want to edit. I'll have to get like good solid 5 days of like good footage. I'm like, all right, like, got something I can maybe put together. And then once I get with that, it starts off exactly like I work at 4 and then I get off at midnight. So I'll have the beginning of the day to shoot or to edit or just take care of my day, like how normal people would when they get off work.
Yeah.
But it's like a flip schedule. So like I'll take care of myself in the beginning of the day, and then I work at night, and then I'm usually up pretty late because of getting off at midnight. I'll be up till 2 to 3 average, and that'll be the creative time. And it's just editing and finding music.
That's brutal.
But I would say the hardest part with editing is finding songs. That's the hardest part, in my opinion. Like once you have a song, it's pretty simple from there. You find your notes and time it to it. But at that point, it's always the song that holds you back, in my opinion. I'm very picky with that too. I'm very picky with my music.
Yeah, and you've been having a lot of trouble with finding like uncopyrighted music, yeah?
Yeah, because with my old projects, like my films and stuff, there's kind of points where you didn't really have much time to care, because what are you going to I'm not going to sell it to people that have like contracts, and then there's all these issues of legalness with song rights and all that stuff. I'm just not at that point to have a worry. I had stresses about it when I was doing Ascend, and I was just like, dude, it doesn't matter. Just do whatever you want. Like, I was pretty happy with most of that movie, not having super copyrighted, very independent songwriters and all that stuff. But for the most part, I've stopped really caring. Like, when I put out Smokey Rooster, I used whatever the hell we wanted to watch, dude. Like, I've used like a new song that came out from Deftones for You. I still love that. I watched that part the other day. I don't know about you.
I think that's my favorite movie you've made for sure. Film, whatever you want to call them, is the Java part, because it's just so picturesque. Like, everything about it. Someone like me who doesn't even know how to use this camera or anything like that, you can watch it and just be in awe the whole time. It's pretty sick. And I really like the way that we did it, where we each have a part. You know, I think that going back and watching, you know, all the old boogie movies, surf movies, whatever, everyone has a part. It's not kind of like this big mashup of like nonsense. Yeah. There's actually a purpose to it, kind of like what you're explaining about your editing, where you need to have a song before you can edit to it. Absolutely. I feel like it should even go even further than that, where I've heard you say this before, I need to pick a song before I even go surf, you know, because then you're thinking about it as you're writing.
Absolutely. And I can add on to that real quick, is that's where I learned that from skating. Skating is just like so on point with finding a song that actually fits the rider, and it's like the rider's telling a story in their part. And that's what I've always, when I did Smokey Rooster, I was so proud of it, because I did it in I hate to say, like a skate style of a video, where each person has a section, they surf to their section, they surf to their song, and like it fits their personality. Like, you watch the video and you're like, oh, like I can kind of figure out who he is in some way just from watching the video. And that's what my goal has always been, is to find a song that matches the rider. And moving forward, I think that's what I want to do. Like, I've done like you said, the mashups where it's just a bunch of everything and like making it look cool that way. But moving forward, I definitely think that's the way I want to make my videos. It's just like skate style, surf style, like just specific sections per person. Mm-hmm. So like, instead of just a bunch of, like say we film at Creek or Wedge and we just get a bunch of footage and it's like, I'm just going to mash this all up to a song. Like, I've done that before. It's time to like kind of change the gears a little bit and make it like, all right, like, you as a writer, have you surfed enough to fill up your part? Then no. Cool. You got to keep surfing until you get your next part out.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's the way it's going to be from now on. Is any of these End Bowl videos, it's going to be a collaborative effort from anyone who just wants to give, you know?
Exactly.
Because we, unfortunately, kind of don't have a crew anymore. That's the way I see it. Is I boogie board, you like to boogie, you like to film, and I mean, anytime I shoot a text to our group chat, anytime I shoot a text to any of my friends besides Carlos, nobody wants to surf. Or, it's too windy, like, whatever it is, I don't know, I guess have other shit going on where they don't want to surf. To me, that's just funny, because I'll literally drop anything. I mean, I can't call it a work, that's the one thing, but anything else, I mean, I don't care if I got a date, if it's pumping, we got to get out there.
Absolutely.
Sorry, you can sit on the beach.
No, absolutely. I definitely put a good priority to I love doing it. That's the difference. Like, I think the people that aren't putting the time into it, they just don't love it that much. And maybe there's just, like you said, other priorities in life that kind of get in the way. I definitely can say I've had life step in my way a lot, where like just had a wedding and I missed like the last week of the Swell at Wedge, which I could have had my own surf and had a couple of my own possible chances of getting clips. But yeah, it's just sometimes you just can't like think too deep about it. I've learned that, because I would say there are points that I would get a little frustrated with myself on missing certain days. Like, say the day you got your air reverse, that was the day I'm like, I've slept like 2 hours each night for the past 4 days. I think this is the one day I'm going to sleep. And of course, that was the day I could have like finalized as much wedge footage as I could have gotten. And I've had that happen many times. That happened, what was it, last year on the 5th of July. Full on woke up at 4 in the morning. I'm like, it doesn't look that good. And it was like one of the sickest days ever of the season. I'm like, you just make those mistakes and you live from them. And I feel like our crew, at least, like for Nate, for an example, he's working a lot and he's trying to he just got his grad, and good for him. He's doing a lot of work, and I mean, he's got a real career ahead of him now, so that's biggest respects to him. I'm trying to find my own ways to find my career, but restaurant's not the forever spot, but it pays the bills. So you never know. But
yeah, I feel like that's kind of the main trouble right now is we're all mid-20s, early 20s, and you're kind of getting, like you said, smacked in the face by decisions to make, whether it's going to be for, your career type lifestyle or your personal lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the bummer of it is that we've came to the realization that you're not going to make both of those together really with bodyboarding, and it's more of just a passion thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
the opportunity is still there. I'd love to do it, but exactly. It's like finding a needle in a haystack in that point.
Yeah, for me, I just like to boogie, and I don't care like how bad the waves are. If I want to go, I'm gonna go, and then when it is good, I'm on it. Like there's just nothing else that can get in my way, and unfortunately, I don't think I know anyone like that I can just call right now that is on that same level. And so I wish we could get a better crew of people together,
Yeah.
Might have to start venturing out, riding with some new people.
Yeah. I've definitely just thought about like opening my horizons to opening up to more people of like consistency, like kind of like that, for example. Like been talking to Craig and Tanner a little bit here and there, and it's cool. Like I love talking with them. They're always motivated to get around, but they're on their own program too. So it's like, it's interesting. So everyone's got their own program.
I would say those two are probably the most committed out of anyone for sure. I mean, they obviously the skill level shows,
Absolutely.
But just the amount of mornings that it's 2 to 3 foot mediocre creek, and you pull up in the lot and they're on it,
Yeah.
And most of the time they're there before me. And I'm like, damn, I should have been here 20 minutes earlier. But other than that, so I'd say Craig, Tanner, and then the only other person I know that's really on it, even when it's shit waves, is Sterling.
Really?
And it sucks that, he lives down in San Diego because it's hard for us to link up. But we both kind of work the same job. We both work retail and deal with these people being nuts all day. So you got to have a release to get out there and surf.
No, absolutely.
And I don't know. I don't really know a whole lot about his spots down there, but I keep telling him, like, dude, you got to come surf Creek because it's just, in my opinion, it's the best wave in California.
I think it's simply the one wave that you can get so good so fast from if you just put your consistent time, because the lines that you learn how to draw at Creek cross over to so many different waves. And I have seen a few waves of him get down there, but I'll just be honest, like, it just doesn't seem like it gets the same power and the same swell. It's a little bit more walled on those days that I see him get some in and outs, and best of him, but I definitely would love to see him come up here a little bit more often.
Yeah.
But I know the drive sucks. That drive's terrible. And driving south after Creek, oh my God.
Oh, and you get stuck in between the marine base.
2.5
Yeah.
hour drive home that would normally take 40 minutes.
For real.
It's just terrible.
Well, I always tell him, like, hey, you can stay up here. Do you know who Caden Wheat is?
I've heard that name, yeah. I've heard that name with, when I last talked with Dave, I think I talked to him about that guy.
Yeah, I don't really know him personally, but I know we've, like, said what's up a few times and obviously surfed around each other a good amount, but I'm pretty sure he's from, like, LA area, kind of like South Bay.
Okay.
But, dude, I'm at 40th Street, which I didn't surf there, but I was looking at the waves.
Boogie
and
Land.
It really is Boogie Land because that place is amazing in its own way. There's good waves there every once in a while, but I'm telling you, if you go on any given day to 40th and then that chunk of beach, I don't know what the streets are, like 40 through 44th, right? Like that whole area, it's all blackballed for boogie, right? And so it's amazing how many bodyboarders there are that you wouldn't even know exist because we're so used to just surfing creek, just surfing wedge, some of these other spots.
Yeah.
And, we're not going to go, I guess, spend too much time at the jetties. Personally, I don't like surfing the jetties that much, but it just is a true training ground. And so the last time I was there, it's kind of bumpy and windy, cloudy. It was actually cold too. I did not want to get in the water. Carlos went out there, but I'm standing there on the beach and both kids, both Nate Simmons and Caden Wheat, it was just insane. Wave after wave. Kids probably did like 4 perfect spins on each wave, especially that Caden kid, dude. His style is just Craiged. Like, I don't know if he's half Australian or what, but
He might be hyped on hearing that.
but dude, I would say that kid has one of like the strongest left forward spins in California that I've seen. And I'd like to see some more. I'd like to see him surf wedge and some of these real waves, you know,
Absolutely.
because personally, this is the way I saw it. It was really cool the first like 3 or 4 waves he got where just boom, like a top, you know, like a fucking dreidel, just spinning, spinning, spinning. But can't that get boring after a bit, you know? Because it seemed like, from what I saw, they were locked down. Like, they're way better than any forward spin on the left I could do, you know? And I'd get bored doing that. So I'd be like, dude, come surf wedge, come surf, you know, creek. Some of these waves where you can really leave the water. Get in the air.
Yeah, test it. Because once you hit the air, it's a whole different ballgame. Once you're like doing flat, like I've done my spins flat here and there, but doing the air is a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just think that the main issue that we might have in our community is there's this weird competition sense of, you know, different zones and where you're from and, oh, like, haven't seen you here before and all that, right? Localism. Yeah. That's fine. That's fair to an extent. But I think that kind of just like that mention of these guys, like that's what we need to do. We need to start pumping up our community. Absolutely. and giving recognition and talking about what people are doing, because I mean no one wants to hear us just talk about ourselves all day. No. You know? And I mean, we do cool stuff, we travel and all that, but I think that the way to do it is just to pump everyone else up. Yeah. And to share stories and hopefully have some of those guys on here in the future. Like, man, That would be so awesome. And, you know, it's tough with lining up me and you our days off, and then we'd have to hit them up and figure all that out. But
over the course of the first season, we kind of learned how tough it is to line up with everything. It's just that everything has to line up perfectly, and then boom, shoot it. And then, oh my gosh, I have to edit it all and make sure it all looks good and sounds good and color looks right. And it's just a process. And I haven't even done any of the shorts that I wanted to do for this because it takes so long to just make them. But I've been getting little interviews for this one job I'm looking at, and it's like all about making short content. So it's kind of teaching me a lot on how to like make it structured, framed right, all the quality works on social media. So it's been teaching me a couple things, but at the same point, it's just tough making like content for this type of stuff. It just takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it seems like, I don't know, in the last few years, specifically the last like 2 years, the short content, whatever this attention span we all have, it's like up. 5 to 30 seconds, you know?
That's exactly
and it actually kind of pisses me off sometimes because I'll be watching a short sometimes and I get over it before the short's even over.
Yep.
And I just don't know how to fix it besides get off my damn phone. I think that's probably the best way to do it is just go surf and spend time in the real world. I was listening to this speech today, and shoot, I cannot remember the guy's name, but anyways, he gave a speech to the graduating class of Harvard, and this guy is this Asian guy, dude. He just laid into everyone about AI, about being consumed by technology, and it was just so eye-opening and so raw. Like, he was just cussing, he was going after it, you know? Dang. To just the whole graduating Harvard class. It was so awesome. Maybe we'll have to get that and link it below.
Yeah, like a little photo.
Because yeah, it was a great eye opener per se. Because this guy was all like, "Fuck AI," you know, like you're telling me that AI can summarize this email for me, right, and give me a 10-second summary of a 5-paragraph email. Well, I can't fucking do that myself. Like, I can't just read it, you know? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like pretty soon AI is gonna like eat itself. Like, people will just get over it. I personally find more people not behind it than people that are behind it. Yeah. And then it's gonna be eventually, and this is all what I've learned from this guy's speech, you know, eventually it's gonna be people that are faking it that versus real people, you know? Yeah. And I mean, in all aspects of life, when someone's faking it, you can tell. And when you yourself are faking it, you feel weak, you feel unconfident, you know, there's a bunch of things that go with it. And I think that this whole artificial intelligence thing is just bullshit.
I'm not the biggest supporter for it. There have been points, I would say. There's only one point that I've actually had benefit from AI that actually helped me, and that was actually designing the logo for N-Bowl. So Avery and me were both like, all right, like I have this idea, like I loved the Stab High artwork, and I was like, all right, I like kind of want to try to do something of that artwork and make like a circle logo where it said end and then bowl underneath and productions in the center. And out of all of our drawings, I think me and Avery both did like 10 drawings total. She had the best looking one, and I sent that photo to Gavin, and Gavin's big on AI. He likes learning all that stuff.
The ChatGPT shit.
Yeah, like best on him if that's what he wants to do. Cool.
Yeah.
He actually did help me polish off the logo from a hand drawing to like a finalized logo, which yes, I could have done that myself, but the hours it would have took compared to that. There are certain benefits, but I think the dependency on AI is the wrong thing. Like it's like you said, if you can simply do it on your own, why wouldn't you expand your brain, expand that feeling of accomplishment for yourself, then have that taken over in that way? It just makes no sense.
It should be used like a calculator, right? Like if you're doing math, you do the math in your head, and then you're like, oh, I want to make sure I'm right. And so then you do put a punch into a calculator, you know, and make sure you're correct. That's, I feel like, how AI should be.
Exactly.
And I mean, I'm not saying I've never used ChatGPT or anything like that, which I have, but it trips me out. And after like a couple, you ask it a question or two, like, I don't know, I mainly use it for workout stuff or trying to figure out like nutrients for food and all that. But after a little bit, it just becomes so overwhelming. Absolutely. And I can totally see how people go down the rabbit hole. And no wonder all these people are just holed up in their bedrooms just coding away all day, talking about all these different AI services. Like, I don't know, the only one I'm aware of really is ChatGPT. I know there's like a bunch of...
It's like Gemini, Google Gemini, and all these other new ones that pop up. They all do generally the same thing, in my guess, or for specific categories of whatever you're wanting to use it for. But I'll just get back to my point. Like, it's seriously like the wrong thing with humans, and that is the strangest dependency on like technology. We all have to deal with that in the day and age. Like, I have dependency on my equipment that has technology now. Thank God none of my cameras have AI. All the new ones now have like little AI chips. I got the cameras just before the AI chips, but I don't know if that actually would do any benefit. Probably would, but I just try my best to avoid it. Like for the logos, like how I'd had that for N-Bowl. As much as I didn't want that, like say like on rail for this, me and Avery full on hand drew that. And I'll give her most of the credit. I definitely just helped like little details, but she did the most part of that, and
it came out really good.
I'm super happy with that. That was like a cool like proud moment. It kind of reminded me of like how Marine Layer Productions with Dane Reynolds did it. It's kind of that same vibe.
And it's just simple. It's not anything like over the top. It's just how it should be.
Absolutely. And with AI too, like I'll try to change subject after, but I just don't like the dependency that people have on it, and it definitely is gonna change a lot in our world, especially like how they always say like, oh, 2027 AI is gonna be even gnarly. Like, I don't even want to know, dude. It's already pretty gnarly and pretty in our day-to-day environment. Like, I know my bosses are probably using it to help balance their funds for their job. I mean, we're dealing with hundreds of thousands of dollars a week, so it's like they're definitely not doing that on their own. There's no way. Like, they have to be having something to help them out.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a long time before they can find a fucking robot that's going to bring a tomahawk tableside and cut it for you.
That's true. I'm pretty happy I have that skill set, I guess. And yeah, the chicken, and yeah, it's a fun job, but dude, I am pretty over it. I hate to say it. Like, I've been over there for 4 years, and as much as I love doing it, like it's just good money, man. Like, once you find a good spot and you're getting good pay, it's like, well, why would I leave? I'm getting my life's paid. Like, I've been able to pay my bills, keep a roof over my head, keep my belly fed some way. Like, it's hard to jump from that. Like, I would love to find a way to do what I love and like actually have like enjoyment in what I do for work, which I do find enjoyment in hospitality. Like, I think speaking of it, that's the hardest thing that AI is hospitality and like customer service. That is the last thing that it'll figure out. Like, someone actually has genuine conversation and genuine care for someone, and like, oh, like they need this, oh cool, I'll bring it over to them. Like, cool. And like we use the word soigner a lot of my work, like presenting and being very professional and highly articulate in the way you speak without sounding, oh yeah dude, like talking like that at the restaurant. Like, that's just so cut out at my place. And also, I was going on something else too, dang it, but it was, yeah, the hospitality and the customer service are just a huge benefit that AI definitely will not take over.
Well, they ain't ever gonna give me a good experience. Like, if I'm, whether trying to call my insurance, and it's a fucking dial, what are those automated systems
Oh, I
and
can
all
get into
that?
it with
Like,
that. Wow. I hate those things, dude. That's like my.
you know all too well, huh? With all that insurance shit that you dealt with.
Yeah, just making calls and then like setting up the premiere, getting on with people and calling these businesses. Oh my goodness, dude. I'm gonna change the subject. I hate operators. I hate the dialing on the phone. Oh, dial this number and then this one and then that one. Like, can I just talk to someone? Like, it'll take 5 seconds of talking to someone.
I'll just throw a big curveball in there. So basically, there's no way that anyone can paddle into a wedge peak as a robot. And man, that'll actually be pretty interesting if in the future, you know how they have RC surfers?
I know.
What if they have like a full-bodied robot that just goes out there on a surfboard or on a boogie board?
You just spoke that to the universe, and now it's going to be a reality in a decade. Just give it a decade. I'm calling it now. A decade?
It'll be at least 2 months.
Oh my gosh.
That's what this guy said in his speech. He's like, you guys can wait like 2 months, and then everything will get taken over.
Oh my gosh, that would be insane.
But yeah, what about that? All right, go ahead.
So I was going to bring, you brought up Wedge, so I was like, well, you've been putting in some good work over there at Wedge. Like, I would say with our first little end bowl edit, you had some pretty good barrels and some pretty good ramps throughout that time after our films that we put out. And then just recently, I remember you were telling me, like, all right, like, my goal this year is I want to get some air reverses. I'm sick of inverts. I want to do some air reverses. And guess what? You've actually did it. And that's one thing I've always liked about you. You say you want to do something, you do it. So I kind of wanted to, like, pick on your brain and your perspective on, like, the process of getting reverses better and like working on that, and maybe some people want to hear that and kind of understand like your journey with getting better at like left reverses and trying to do airs and just learning the process of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch enough bodyboarding. That's the main thing. I don't think I study enough of my own clips. I don't think I watch enough of anyone else's clips. I mean, I watch all of our local stuff, but as far as, where you're gonna really pick up some fundamentals like from the Aussies and like those guys, I don't know why I don't spend my time watching that stuff, or I didn't, let's say.
Yeah.
But that's kind of something that I put into my brain, is that hey, if I want to start doing these big maneuvers, I gotta watch how they're done.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have probably a handful of clips on my phone that are quick access that even maybe before I surf I'll go watch and say, okay, I want to do this. Most of them are Tanner, because it's the way he does his reverse. It all starts in the line, and for instance, like I think Breaking Even, they just put up this, it was one single wave clip on their Instagram of Tanner from that swell, a couple like small wave, like 4 foot wave. And I mean, you watch the, I think it might have been Harold, someone who filmed it. Whoever filmed it did a great job because, and I'm pretty sure it was Harold or Brandon, because they have the whole thing on video. They have the wave coming in, it refracting, Tanner paddling to the apex of the wave, finding where he's going to get the most energy of it, and then he turns around, and when he catches it, I mean, me or someone else, you might just like go down like right away, just haul ass and try and hit the lip. But the way he does it is he stays so high, and he almost like, I don't know, I guess harnesses the energy of that side wave connecting at just the perfect time, because it really is, someone's calling me, it really is a split second difference between everything,
Of course.
And that's what I'm learning more and more, is if I want to connect a good reverse, I mean, I catch the same waves as Tanner all the time. That's what's been bugging the shit out of me recently, is I'll catch the same wave. It looks the exact same. What is he doing different that is able to let him just fly off the lip, and not off the lip, but into the flats? Because that's the other thing is, once you start trying to go for an air reverse, you realize how many times you land on top of the wave or out the back of the wave. Yeah. And, I mean, some of those people do it on purpose, but I will never. Always full commitment there.
There you go.
It's really cool to watch how specifically Tanner does it, because if I had to guess, he's probably done thousands. Like, if I would put a number on 10,000 air reverses that kid's done.
From the time
Like
of them
from the
starting
time he's been probably like 6 years old until, or whenever he started bodyboarding,
Yeah.
until now, I'd say he's probably done 10,000 air reverses.
Yeah.
And
He can do an average on my guess like 5 a session. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Pretty solid, good average.
And if you got one of those, or if I got one of those, that would be one of the best waves of my life. You know. And I don't think that it matters how big the wave is. It matters on how the maneuver is executed.
100%.
And so that's what I've been trying to focus on, is my line and then where I'm connecting with the lip. I found that a lot of the times I'm too early, I'm too late. Mm-hmm. And it's just like the thing you hear when you're a kid about the porridge, where you go, it's too hot, too cold, just right. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to get it right eventually. Yeah. Because there is such a big difference in how much air you'll get and how much you'll be able to rotate. And the other thing that I've been taking into account, or like really thinking about, is head rotation, you know, because your body will follow where your head goes.
Yep.
And actively thinking while I'm surfing. I think that might resonate with a lot of people, is consciously thinking about what you're doing when you get that opportunity presented in front of you. You know, like, we have such muscle memory from when we're little kids of just pulling into a barrel or going to lip, doing a roll, doing a backflip. Perfect example is that I just have the hardest time doing a straight backflip rotation on a left, because the way I learned how to do it was just go up like you're gonna hit a roll and just fling your body out there, and I would do an ARS, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes they come out cool, like if you can get the full rotation and all that, but for the most part, they look pretty retarded. And so that's like one thing that I'm really trying to focus on, is thinking. When I am going to the lip, what am I going to do that's going to be different than the last time? And how is that going to help me? And then when I get the next chance after that, think about the wave before that. Okay, what did I do that time? And how can I improve it from there? And it's just about really wanting it. That's the main thing, because it just depends. Not everybody is like looking for that, you know? Yeah. There's a lot of people that might go to the wedge or go to boogie, go to surf, anywhere, and they're just like, oh, I'm just happy to be in the water, you know?
Just happy to catch a wave.
And that's going to be me today. Like, after this, I'm going to go surf. I don't care what the wind looks like, what the waves look like. I haven't surfed in probably 5 days. I've been working all week, and I missed the last few mornings of wedge, so got a little bit of FOMO there, but I don't care. I'm just going to go out there, you know? So I feel like that might be the majority of people, is that they really just don't care that much. There's not like a fire in them to progress more.
Absolutely.
They just want to go have fun. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like, I think that's one of the best things, is to not care too much, you know? Because something that Jared Houston had told me maybe 4 or 5 years ago in Puerto Rico. It was the first time I went to Puerto Rico. I've been trying to do an air reverse, dude, for like 6 years.
Yeah.
And I have barely... I still have not got one that I'm satisfied with. In 6 years, I've done hundreds of attempts. I've still not got one that I fully popped and then clicked and just fucking landed right in the flat. Like, and I mean just stick it, you know? Like, I have not got one. And something that Jared told me, because we were surfing this wave in Puerto Rico, that's a sick left wedge. It has kind of this mushroom rock on the outside of it. And the wave, so there's like this big kind of set of rocks that are attached to the beach, and then there's this little mushroom rock that's out to the outside. And so you sit kind of right off that. When the waves come in, the first wave, it funnels through that mushroom rock in between that and the big rocks on the beach, and it refracts. And then it's a reef break wedge. And so it's literally like watching a perfect side wave or a surge, you know, most of the time it's more of a surge, come at you, and you're watching it. And then as you're watching it, it sucks back, and you just see, like, I mean, coral reef, you know?
Yeah.
But you just see this thing start throating. And that's a sick barrel section, but there's just the most insane ramps on the end, right? And Jared had told me, just focus on having fun and surfing, because I was so in my head about wanting to do an air reverse. I went down the beach that morning, and all I would talk about was that I wanted to just stick a big air reverse. and he kind of had to like cool me down a little bit because I was getting so frustrated that I just could not get the right wave for it, or if I did, I wasn't timing it right. And he's like, dude, like, it will happen eventually. And sometimes just the way that, you know, it depends on your spirituality, the way you think, what you believe in, all that. But sometimes you just kind of have to let it be and let that chance come naturally. So that's, I guess, to fully answer your question about my air reverses, that's what I'm trying to come full circle on. And I think about that almost every time I go to do a reverse, is that conversation with Jared. It's like, yes, I want one so bad, but it's gonna happen eventually. And if I just keep studying and keep like just a healthy level of wanting to progress it, then it will happen. You know, and it does feel like it's gonna happen this year. Hopefully I'll get the right morning off work and I'll be able to show up and throw down. But it is really, really fun to watch how everyone does it. Like Tanner, Craig, it's so cool.
Even Jared, how he was at the wedge, got a big old air reverse that I was
I didn't see it yet. I didn't see it yet. I'm
supposed
so
to text
excited.
You on my phone, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be in Breaking Even's rinsed video.
It's gonna be. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you saw, but like, what's his name? I can't even. That is embarrassing. I would almost forget Mike's name, but Ninja, Mike Vanish.
There we go. Yeah.
Straight legend, Creek legend. He has the account Go Pounders, Gravels Pounders, and he posted a video. I think it's in slow mo, but it's Jared taking off at wedge, and it's one wave that I just had not seen yet, and I knew that has to be the air reverse. And I'm like watching it, and right when he's about to get to the lip, I just scrolled away. I was like, I don't want to see that. I want to see it on a big screen tonight.
So the post that I saw that he did.
I don't want to know anything.
I'll change it. Trust me, it was an invert, so it wasn't that clip that you're talking about. But the one that I know that he did, because I was there, it was on the 11th, and I think it was his last time riding it for that day. Like, I think that was one of his
last wave, yeah.
Pretty much one of his last waves, yeah. And it was big from my point of view, and I got a funny story with it. Jamie's gonna like this, but because I set up next to Jamie, I showed up a little bit late, and there's a bunch of people. I'm like, oh, Jamie Rose is right there. I'm gonna go set up next to him. I haven't talked to him in a bit, and he just got back from Scotland and had a cool little wave pool trip.
Scotland, that's sick.
Yeah, he had a cool time, but basically it was really funny. He had to rush out for work. He had like a quick only time to be there, and he's like, oh, but the second I leave, I know it's gonna happen. And the second he because he went back and forth like, oh, I'm gonna pack up, and then he's like, no, there's a good wave coming, I'm gonna wait. And then that happened like a few times, and then it got to the last one. He's like, no, I literally have to go. And then he's like, watch, right now it's going to happen. Literally 2 waves later, Jared just, boom, fully highlining and woof, through this huge air reverse. And I look back at Jamie and I'm like, bro, like, you called it. Like, you kind of set that up for you right there. But it was so funny.
Manifest.
But yeah, it was pretty big. It was cool. It was interesting. Like, out of all the waves that he got out there, I'm surprised that was the one that he got the air reverse on. Like, you'll see it when he comes, because I swear from the trailer that Craig did for that rinse video, I saw like one little flash of a clip of it. I'm like, oh, they got it. So that would be cool for him to see. And then I wish I can go. I got work today, and it's actually happening today, the day we're shooting. So best of luck to you guys when you're watching it, and I hope it goes all well. I wish I can be there, but I'm happy I got to contribute a couple clips to it, so that's fun. But
I'm excited to go see the new shop.
I bet.
662.
Right down the street from me.
Yeah.
Literally right down the hill. Right there.
I mean, can't really beat that South Orange County freeway access, 10 minutes to Salt Creek, you know, right next to In-N-Out Burger, right next to A's Burgers.
Exactly.
You got, what's it called? What's the place called? There's a sick all-you-can-eat sushi place, like right across the John from there.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Now I know.
Throw down some sake bombs, bro.
Oof. Before and after.
Sake bombs, then go pick yourself up a new sled, and then wake up the next day and be like, fuck, I spent $500 on a board.
Yeah, I did that the other day. Not that long ago, I bought a new Found, and I'm actually wearing the shirt. It's kind of funny timing, but yeah, I got their, it's like the classic one. It's like the timeless colorway that I gotta say that, like...
What colorway is that?
It's like the dark blue deck, black rail with the black tailpiece, red pin line with the white slick. Like, that's probably been, it's like one of the most used colorways. I'd say like Mitch Rawlings has like that. There's a photo of an invert that like everybody says is like the best photo of an invert of all time. I'll throw a quick little photo of it. It's like the best photo. I think Phil Gallagher shot it, and like early 2000s. It's funny, like I'm a big nerd about that stuff, but I love learning that stuff, dude. It's like what made it to today. And that invert was one that literally everybody in Oz will like, they see that like, oh yeah, that was the invert, like that's Mitch's invert, and he was in that colorway board. And I've seen many, I'm not going to name specifically, but I know for a fact that's been in history of bodyboarding for a while, and that's why I got him. Like, oh, like found he makes good boards, and I've always liked their artwork, like Killer Days. I've brought that up in this like one of the best bodyboard films. If you haven't watched it, watch it. You'll learn so much from just the history of how far bodyboarding got. Like the production wise, they were shooting on like a Phantom that was like thousands of frames per second at 4K in like 2013. Like, how did bodyboarding have the money to do that then? And like be able to fund that. And then I think once it hits that plateau, it fell back down again.
Dude, we just need one Bitcoin bro to freaking throw down.
Yeah.
Like, that would be so sick. I just wish I was 35 and I would have known about Bitcoin 15 years ago, you know?
Yeah.
Bought in at cents, and we could have had the Boogie Palace right now.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. But at the same point, like, there's a reason for where it is right now. It's because it's a big learning curve, and like certain, like how they blasted the world tour around. I think I've said this theory a bunch of times. There's way too many contests in it. It puts out too many people. Like, if there was only like 4 to 5 big contests that led to like a world championship, a lot more people would have opportunity to get into that and more opportunity to grow the sport, because you're having such a variety instead of it all being Europe and South Africa or whatever it may be. But it seems like it's literally 90% Europe. It doesn't seem like there's anything that's in the IBC that's actually contributing to like what it would be, like compared to the IBA, where there's so many other outlets and so many other ways. But that fell apart with that long story. And then APB, kind of the same thing, but now it's like, it's just interesting, man. I swear the recipe is how Stab does it. That's the recipe for bodyboarding to grow, is doing stuff that's very independent, but there's some way you just got to do it all right and get lucky.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, did you see the Surf 100, I think they called it? Or
Yeah,
something?
I watched it. It was great.
I mean, where are we going to get $100,000, bro?
Writing the right contract to the right company, man, and figuring it out and see it's pitches, dude. That's all that they did. They were like, hey, like, we have this great idea. Would you be able to sponsor it? And then Pisco was like, yeah, sponsor it. Great. And boom, through all the money, through all the advertisement, it's ready to go.
Yeah.
That company films and brings all those people around. I bet that's not a cheap penny. They got a lot of money in that brand. I know for a fact they got like tens of millions of dollars they're flowing around in Stab easily just to like make it possible. And I bet it doesn't profit as much as we think. I bet it's a...
Oh, it's just for fun. Yeah.
It's like, a business. It's a full... There's easily at least 50, 60, maybe 80 people working for that company. Maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. But I know it's a good machine. It's a big machine that company, and they work, dude. Like, I watch all their podcasts, watch all their videos, and it's literally like feeding me a recipe to learn how to create and be at the next level of where I am. Because it's like we were saying before, I don't want to make just a bunch of random mashup stuff. I want to make very specific stuff that is like actually tailored to like, say like you, like I want to make like how we did your Nicaragua part. Like that was just your footage and your stuff. So it's like benefiting to you. You're putting in all the work. If like, I don't want to put like a bunch of randomness to people that aren't working hard. And that's what I hope for my next project. If I were to ever make another film, I want it to be all sections like that. Each person has their part. It makes up parts great here and there. But like, I can't wait to see like this next Grom that comes up. Like one that I've been looking at, like say Nate Simmons and that Kieran Chaney.
Oh yeah, Kieran, good mention.
I think those kids are like the next potential to see. And same with Thomas DeLuca. Like I just saw an invert that he did the other day. I'm like, wow, you've got yourself to that point. Like I'm so stoked to see that. Like he's actually like learning how to like draw his rail and draw his line and actually like tilt with his head before he's using the board. Like there's certain things like that you see that they've been watching what they're doing, they're paying attention and growing.
Yeah.
And I love seeing that out of bodyboarding, especially with those young kids, because they're really getting it. And then I would say, it's kind of like what I've been telling you, those kids, they just need to watch the old stuff where bodyboarding was at its peak, because that's where, I bet you that's where Tanner got a lot of his inspo. It was all that younger, when he was a young kid, and then he's watching all these people come up, he was entered into in the most absolute peak of time. There's no way that he wasn't watching like Michael Novi, Thomas Robinson, and just to name a couple people. Like there's so many other people that he definitely learned from. Like Jace Finley is a big one for me. Like he just goes huge and throws the biggest airs, and he's the funniest guy ever. And he seems like the nicest guy ever too. Like there's just a different part of it that I think a lot of people need to understand. In that, yeah, it's old and it's whatever, but dude, it is so on point of what it needs to be. It's just so perfectly picturesque, and that's what I try to learn from and make sure it keeps happening. But it's tough to keep feeding the machine when the machine's not giving you back a lot. It's tough. Like, I think Envol, we got 108 subs. Appreciate all of you. That's rad. And then this podcast, we have 16 subscribers.
Hell yeah.
Our highest viewed video is at right now 107 views.
Make it 108 views after I watch it again.
Yeah, I'm probably going to, because like I said, I want to make some shorts for this.
I actually haven't watched. I think I watched the first podcast we dropped because I just wanted to see how stupid we sound. But then the other ones, I was like, I don't even want to watch it. I've been sending them to, like, because people will ask me about it if I'm telling them, and I'm like, hey, just so you know, it's a learning curve where we don't really know what we're doing. We're just talking shit, and we enjoy doing it. And I mean, kind of from the beginning, what I always said to you is, hey, if someone doesn't like it, they can turn it off. You know, that's their power.
Well, it's also just us learning. Like, as we go, we're getting better at it. We know when to speak and when to not speak on certain things. No ums and yas and does, all that stuff.
There's still plenty of those.
Oh, absolutely. There always will be. And I'll be throwing my hands up because I'm terrible at that. So that's
I want to take a speech class.
See, that's what's funny. I did all that in college, and it was there for a bit, and now it's slightly just fading away. I was doing communications, and then I kind of like pieced out after that for a bit because I wanted to.
It's just like working out, you know, your brain. That's what I'm realizing is as I get a little bit older, life's fucking hard, and there's so many things that you have to do just to maintain, you know, just to maintain your basic. Whether it's your physique or your mentality of, you know, the way that you want yourself to be seen from others, is just that baseline is hard to get to sometimes. Absolutely. You know? And exactly like what you said about the speech thing is, I feel you need to just do it more, you know? And they have all these classes you can take online now or at the local college. I don't know. The main thing to me is I just don't want to go to a class because I feel like it's going to be a burden over time. Like, if I pay for a class and commit to it, then all right, I got to go every day. Otherwise, I waste my money, you know?
Yeah, see, where I've picked up on that is I think going back to the school, it could be beneficial for some people, but I think the biggest one is just incorporating into every single moment of conversation. Like, I don't know if you've noticed with me, like when I text now, I'm actually trying to be punctual and like use comments and like, or not comments, but like just as like that as like a simple example is like there's certain things that like you just do in your consistent day and it makes it so much better because now when I'm like writing emails to companies, it actually it like resonates, like it crosses over to where like it's not as like I have to put a lot of effort. It's just mindless.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with work. Like my work's always been super adamant on professional speaking. And the more and more I try to incorporate it and even just test the waters with a random table I've never met before and just, I'm going to wing this and just try to speak very professional. And that stuff, when you make those errors and you learn from it, it's simple as that. It's like this constant trying, failing, and hopefully you'll do it right the next time because we're going to fail at this 10 more times on each of these podcasts until I get real mics and real setup and do that stuff. It's just going to be constantly learning and going, but I think it's going to be cool for people to see our process if people are interested, which obviously some people are interested, but we'll see. It's all in the going of it and keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, dude, you got to fix the leak before you can fill your bucket.
That's true. And that's the other thing too, like with thinking about like, we always talk about it, like when you miss a swell or you miss something, there's that fear of FOMO and all that stuff. Like as much as everybody wants to say, we all have a little bit of FOMO. As much as we want to say, I definitely have a little bit more than I'd hate to say, but I do for sure. And I think the biggest one for that with waves and figuring it out is just the balance of life that I have a hard time with. Like we were talking about like my work and doing this, it's tough for me to balance my life. Like I've had a lot of learning with like paying bills and like, I want to keep doing stuff like this and do what I love to do, but then I have life that smacks me in the face. Like, I don't have time for that because I need to sleep, I need to eat, and I need to go to work. And as much as like, say during that wedge swell, if anyone knew, I was pretty much dead filming those waves. I was exhausted. Getting off at like the gnarliest work week, we had like, what is it, a 550 person wedding that whole week. right, like literally those days that was firing at Wedge, I was dealing with 500 people at the end of the night. Like, not me specifically, but like our entire hotel was so compacted because there's so much going on.
Jeez.
That I was there till midnight, 12:30 some days, and then I'd have to wake up at 4. And you get off at 12:30, 1 o'clock. You're not sleeping, dude. You're wide awake.
Like 2 or 3. Oh, you just wouldn't sleep, huh? I remember
there was some days I wouldn't sleep, yeah, and it would be terrible. I'd go home, take a nap, and then go to an 8-hour shift. It's gnarly.
Yeah, that's.
But you gotta do what you gotta do to get what you want. And I want to keep doing this, and I want to keep making videos. But dang, there were so many things that just like, nope, getting in my way. But I'm like, push right through. Gotta do what you gotta do. And I bet you have those as well when you're like, oh my God, I have to like go paddle out. I don't have the energy. I don't have the strength. I don't feel as good, but the waves are good, and I gotta try. Like, there's always things like that come in the way.
Yeah. Well, something I've been trying to get myself better at recently is like small habits. You know, like when you wake up in the morning, make your bed. You know, when you wake up in the morning, drink a big glass of water. Like, try and do the same things every day, so then they become easier, and then it brings you more structure, and then that structure brings you stability, and then that stability brings you confidence, and then from that confidence, you fucking perform.
Yep.
And that's how I want my life to be. So I think that might be a good ender right there.
I think so.
Is just strive for excellence, dude.
Absolutely. I think from here, let's just keep doing what we're doing, and something's going to come out. Like you said, the more you just keep that positive attitude of like getting what you're looking for without the roadblocks getting in your way a lot, because I'll say that to myself. I hope moving forward my roadblocks don't affect me as much as they do, because it's just my natural thing. Like, I don't know how to fight it. Like, I want so much out of things that I'll put a lot of effort to them, and then when it smacks, it's just super hard because like there's nothing to pick it up. But then once you get through that and you realize like, oh, like it was that hard for a reason, like you had to learn from it that way. And yeah, I think that's the way to go with it. And like you were saying with the air reverses, like just gotta keep the head down and you'll get it without getting it in your head that it hasn't happened yet. And
exactly.
I'm looking forward to seeing how these Groms step up to the plate, and I can't wait to see a part from one of these Groms, dude. Like, I hope.
Well, you're gonna have to film it because nobody else is filming them.
I know Harold and those guys are doing it, but at the same point.
But they're all on just the single clip wavelength, you know. Like I think Brandon does some edits every once in a while. Same with Harold, but I think that exactly what you said. We want to see some more, dude, from these kids.
Well, they gotta pick up from what we've done. Like, I've been doing the video and editing stuff. Like, there's some kid that I know that has a computer that knows how to edit or has an interest in it just to try it. And at the same point, it's like, Craig's like, hey, like, we got this footage, send it over. And, like, that's great. Like, let's see. Like, I know Drake Kinghorn's another one that had an edit that they put out, and that was cool. Mm-hmm. But, like, at the same point, like, I want to see these kids, like, working towards that. Like, all right, I got to do a reverse, got to do an invert, got to do a roll, flip, got to have a spin in there. Like, there's all these things that, like, I hope we can see that happen more because I'm wanting to say for my next projects that we're working on a part for you. Like, there's other kids that are putting in the effort when, like, say, filmers are there and they can work on picking up their footage. That's another thing in our day and age that needs to be thought of.
Yeah.
Is the work behind it. That you have to grab your footage from people. Yes, you're going to have to pay for some. That's life. We can't get everything for free. But cool thing with Harold and Brant, they're great people. They send footage whenever you need it, and if you're wanting something from them, they'll help you out, and that's what's super cool. I'm trying to get better at that as well as I'm moving forward because it's hard sending footage, man. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as people make it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to like articulate this the right way, but I just want to put it out there in general where if me, you, or anybody is saying anything about someone else, like, hey, we want to see more, or, oh, like, you did a nice invert, like, keep it up, dude, looks good. In the past, personally, if somebody had said that to me, I've had interesting thought processes where I almost get a little jaded or a little, like, stuck in my head, like, oh, what does that person think? They're, like, so much better than me, so they're gonna say, you know, oh, good job, buddy, like, keep it up, you know. And I just want to put that out there, like, so strongly that anything that I say, and I feel this goes for you as well, if we're saying a positive thing like that, we don't feel like we're above you. We don't feel like we're below you. We want to be right there with you and
100%.
fucking cheer you on, you know? And I want other people to do that for us too.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's my point right there, is that like we truly do care about this community and everyone's progression, including our own.
Absolutely.
And if we try our best to take the ego out of it, or whatever you want to call it, it just comes down to having fun and supporting each other.
Absolutely. And growing as people, growing as bodyboarders, growing as surfers, whatever you may be, just whatever we try to bring to the table, hopefully it's recognized in some way that it's all for stoke and it's all for growth that we, when we grew up, didn't see. So we're trying to change that and make it more motivational for kids to want to do more and try harder and get better at the main point. Because if they really want to get better, you can. Just all in commitment. And
100%.
Positive reinforcement that we can bring upon them and be like, because say when you were a kid, if you did a big old air S or whatever, were people like, oh, like, could have done this a little bit better. Like, no, it was like, oh, that was sick. Like, that's the difference, I think, is like, oh, it's super sick. Here's one thing. Like, bro, like, it would be even sicker if you had this little addition
Gotta
to
coach each other. Yeah.
But without it being like you said, without it sounding jaded or like condescending.
It all just depends on the recipient at that point, you
absolutely,
know?
of course.
And so then it becomes a personal issue on,
yeah.
Like, I've had those personal issues myself, where I've had those thoughts of like, fuck this person. Like, why do they say that to me? Yeah, they're giving me a cheers or whatever, but it sounds all condescending, you know?
Like, where did he have the reason to say that?
And that was all me. That was like my head thinking that when that person was probably 100% genuine, you know? Yeah. And so I just want to keep that out there, that we are genuine and that we want everyone to fucking kick ass. Yeah. So let's do it. Like,
in all aspects, even if people are doing great and doing forward, we're all supportive in all rounds, and we just want to be a part of it. That's about it.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to be a part of the community and grow with it. Simple as that.
Well, I think that is a good ender right there. Thanks for coming by, dude. And
absolutely. Always,
season 2, episode 1 in the books.
We'll get the next one out soon, and we'll see.
Ooh, who's our next person that we were going to bring on here?
Whew.
I think we talked about this, right?
Yeah, we did. I talked to Craig the other day, and hopefully we can get him on. I said, like, hey, after, if you guys are shooting one of you guys yourselves, no worries, but if you want to hop on with me and Scotty and talk about the video.
Oh, no, he's going to hop on. I'll make him.
But yeah, it'll be super cool to talk with him. They've definitely had some history with him, and I think it'd be really cool. No one's really, like, talked about, like, the whole history between all of our crews. So I think it would just be really cool to hear his perspective as well. So yeah. I would love to see that, and hopefully that lines up. If not, we'll get Nate or something on. I know we've been trying to get Nate on for a bit, and that's just the completely opposite schedule of me. So that just is like a random day I get off, we'll have that happen. But definitely we have some things lined up, and we're looking forward to get it out.
Sweet. All right, we'll call it.
Well, hopefully that sounded good and all worked out.
How long was that?